Hey everybody, and welcome back to Kerbal Space Program RP-0. We're out here on the launch pad again. Our new Shuriken is ready to go. We have let our relative inclination with our orbital station get down to something reasonable, although it's being a little wonky. So this is our brand new, our very green crew. We have Lee Bowman and Deanna, name I'm not going to try to pronounce, system scientist, and Catherine Richards are... Oh, wait, I think Bowman's the pilot. Yes. Richards and Deanna, name I'm not going to pronounce, are scientists. My mistake. Alright. Throttle is set to full. SAS is on. Ooh, we have some deep-seated issues here with our staging that we need to correct. Oh boy, that... Yeah, okay, all four engines, then clamps, then booster sep. Oh boy. All the clamps at once, please. And then EFT, and then AJ10. Okay, now I think we're actually ready to go. Ignition sequence start. We are lit. Clamps are off. Wow, that's quite a jiggle. But we're going. Fantastic. Alright. A little slower off the pad. We are a little heavier thanks to our revisions to the Shuriken itself. But I'm hoping these RD-171s will help make up for it just a little bit. They do actually provide less thrust than the 4 E1s that would have been there, although I think it's... did they replace 4 E1s or 3 E1s? Oh, now I can't remember the revisions I made to this versus the revisions I made to the DN series. Anyway, we're going to start getting into this roll, and I'm going to start trying to adjust for this relative inclination on my own, and I will pick all of you up in orbit. So this is the first flight of these new additions to our Shuriken system, and to answer old me, it was 4 E1s on the boosters, not 3. I was in fact thinking of the D1A. But these RD-171s, I guess, provide a little bit of less thrust, but we've got lots of overhead to deal with it, as I'm sure I mentioned before. This thing gets to orbit without any real problems, with actually sometimes more than 2 or 3 kilometers of burn time left on those HG3s, which have started to become a little bit of a fickle engine, although I tried actually to build a version of this with an RS-25. It just looked really goofy. Really, you only need one RS-25. There goes booster sep. They are down and away. And then we came to throttle back up on the HG3s. And I started thinking about trying to rebalance some things, just to try to mitigate some of this. Turns out MechJeb does a pretty good job. And then we have a loss of thrust on engine 1, which made things extra interesting. It was not a loss of ISP, although I wouldn't figure that out for quite a while, though even if it was a loss of ISP, I think we could go ahead and continue to orbit. That engine was running at about half thrust, and seeing as how we can still maintain most of our angle and we're still accelerating at a pretty decent rate, the green lit was given to continue on to orbit and assess the situation further from there. Now, it would be quite a wrestling match. This is about the point when I figured out that I do have an engine down. That's very interesting, and I did have a great fear of what would happen should it completely fail. I don't think getting the rest of the way to orbit would be tenable at that point. We do have to burn a little bit off our axis, since we are already an asymmetrical thrust to center of mass vehicle, and now even more so. So now we have not only we have 2 angles to adjust on instead of just the one, which made things extra interesting, especially when trying to keep that relative inclination in check. But I fought with it a whole bunch. I'm quite used to wrestling with these shuttles, although we're going to have quite a bit extra of our aerosine and nitrogen tetroxide burned off from all the adjusting that we're having to do, which means, yeah, we're going to have to gank some fuel from our space station, and so we will... I don't know, I was hoping to avoid that. At some point, we're going to have to start bringing fuel up to the station so that we can refuel our shuttles as they get there. That'll probably put to the maximum end of our cargo capacity, about 20-25 tons, maybe a little less with the boosters, but they do have longer runtime. So anyway, back over to Old B for some relieved breathing. Well, that was way more interesting than I ever wanted it to be. We are at 740 by 133, which is not technically an orbit, but I'm going to be very happy to get rid of this EFT and pull myself away. There we go. Stage it off. That thing still had a lot of fuel left in it, but unfortunately, due to engine troubles, this is where we're at. We're going to make corrections once we get a little further out, probably out to our apogee. Yeah, and shut down, lock the gimbal, we'll bring online our AJ-10, activate engine, there we go. Oh man, we used so much RCS fuel. Alright, I am just going to open this and turn on our fuel cells. We should probably unlock this. Yeah, okay, RCS, seriously, you're wasting entirely too much fuel. Activate fuel cell. Activate fuel cell. How's that doing for our charge then? Awesome. We are charging. I can probably deactivate one of these. Yeah, we're topped off and staying that way. Perfect. Alright, so we'll just go ahead and close the... Wait, open. Make sure yes, I did lock that tank. Fantastic. Anything else in here locked that doesn't need to be? Now, say all of those are almost empty. That one's almost empty. We'll go ahead and try to displace these to more centralized tanks to keep our weight in line. Oh yeah, you can go away, so I'll lock these open. Out, out. Out. That should fill those, but we've got the forward tank in the cockpit and another tank attached to that HAB module with the docking port in the cargo bay that we can also fill. Any little steps I can do to bring our center of mass in line with that engine, I think is going to be well worth it. We need to smooth out this process as much as possible. Alright, you two can go away, you can stay. It's not going to do a whole lot for us, I don't imagine. Alright, and last one. Oh, that one's full. Very interesting. Okay then. Alright, so let's get to plotting some nodes. Now, I've chosen to adopt basically the same flight model path as last time, to where we will rendezvous with the station first, drop off our cargo, do our crew thing, steal some fuel, and then drop down to a lower orbit to fulfill the 3 Kerbal crewed orbital contract, which is paying for all of this and a good chunk of our station. So that's the plan, and we'll just get ourselves set up on this node and get ready for the burn. Alright, we'll just ullage in our AJ-10. We're about a minute out from the node. I don't know how long this burn is going to take, but we'll just light it up now. We don't really need to be all that quick with it. Oh man, I don't have to fiddle with the controls or hold down things or wrestle with this. We can just make we can just point at the node and go. I should have made this change a long time ago. Alright, well, we're within 0.1 meter per second. We're still 30 seconds ahead of schedule. I'm going to eliminate this node, remember 37.5, and we're going to align planes. That's saying 44.7 in 1 hour 2 minutes. Why would you do that? So this one, the altitude is obviously higher, so therefore it would be more efficient. Oh, MechJeb, you're killing me. Yeah, 47.2. Okay. I guess not, but we can do it sooner, and that's what matters. Alright, let's get ourselves dialed in here. And ignition. Shut down. Relative inclination .01. I will live with that. RCS off. Make sure MechJeb or no other system really screws with our approach. And now we wait. And let the station catch up with us. Yeah, before I get into this, let's do this. Focus Earth. Look straight down. Now time warp. Yes, much better. So it'll be a couple of passes before we can get there, but no big deal. Oh, that's an unfortunate circumstance. Nope, I'm not going to waste the fuel. We're just going to go around again. We're very much not burdened by the same life support restraints we had on our last flight, so an extra couple of days waiting for things to line up really doesn't faze us that much. Now that we've got a much better approach, we'll start dialing in this angle and get ready to go ahead and make our burn. There we go. We'll get our intercept in 0.5 kilometer for an 80 meter per second burn that does not put us anywhere near the atmosphere. Fantastic. That burn is in 20 minutes, so we'll turn our RCS back on and get ourselves oriented. How's our electric charge doing? Topped off. That's what I like to see. We're about to run out of liquid hydrogen. Of course we are. I probably forgot to switch that tank over to cryo. So we're going to go ahead and boot our solar panels. Alright, 19 minutes. The burn will take about 44 seconds. No big deal. Alright, just a quick check on our electric charge. Still topped off and holding, just on solar panels, no, and RTGs, obviously. No fuel cells running at the moment, because we're going to run out of liquid hydrogen. I would like to see how much of that we lose to boil off, versus how much we can save for the ride home, where we certainly needed it last time. Alright, ullage, before I forget to do this burn. Oh good, the thrusters in the cargo bay are firing. Absolutely fantastic. That got us to about 6 kilometers. I'm going to try to tune this manually with RCS. 3 kilometers, 2. Making good progress. There we go. Oh, nope. 900 meters is look like about where it stopped. Nope. Not that way. Within a kilometer. Nope. Okay. Alright, stop. 1.2. We're just going to leave it there. Alright, match velocities at closest approach. 156.5 meters per second in 53 minutes. That's a good chunk of fuel, but alright. Let me just, Oh, I guess we haven't passed this last marker yet. No, we certainly have. I don't know why MechJeb Or at least the fact that the stock computer is being so weird. But apparently... Alright, we're just going to trust our computer and go for it. So, RCS back on. No, RCS off. We're going to angle in at the last minute to avoid screwing this node up as much as possible. Alright, RCS on. We got to get this going right meow. Okay, good. We are showing a drain on the batteries. No problem. We're going to be a little behind on this. Ignition. Come on, get on the node thing. There you go. See if we can't take the last little bit of that off-center tank. Good. Must be in render range. There it is. It's probably going to be way too small, but we will try to track. I think I've missed it. Get on this RCS and see if we can't take care of this 90 some odd meters per second. Yeah, there it is, right above the cockpit, flying past us at about 75 meters per second. Alright, well, yeah, I did that burn late. I was distracted. My mistake. Hopefully we can keep it from leaving render range. We've got about a little less than a kilometer before that happens. Another 17 seconds at least to burn, and then we're probably going to start adjusting our angle to point more directly at the station. Yeah, there's going to be some refueling of things going on, I'm sure of it. Shut down. 200 meters in 9 minutes. Wow, that happened fast. Alright, let's see if we can't get the RCS system to stop being all wonky. Bring us in good and close. Our relative speed's only about 3.6 meters per second. That's pretty good. And I'm pretty sure, did it leave render range? No, I think that's it. I'm not 100%, but it looks like it really should be right in front of us practically. Okay, F5. That would have been smart. Yeah, we've been up here for 3 days. Meh. Huh, the time warping thing didn't go all cattywampus on us. So we're just going to get ourselves close and then we'll move the docking arm out. All right. Yep, and there it goes. Great. Alright, we'll do this the old slow way. So I will spare you the very long tedium of doing this all in real time because for some reason the time warp stuff is still being screwy. Not a very good view from the cockpit, unfortunately. So we're just going to approach on the, I guess the top side of the station, fly just past the HAB module and the station itself, arrest our relative velocity, and yeah. I did switch over to the station there for a second, and we'll switch back. I'm going to move that hinge around 180 degrees before we undock our docking arm and start to unfurl it, which is super interesting, the way it torques itself around. And now that it's unfurled and pretty much straight, we will make our approach to the station, which it's still not perfectly balanced. There's a little more weight on the fuel tank side than there is on the core side, which I guess I should have expected. That was a bump. Didn't see that coming. And docked. And that will be the easiest docking ever. Now we'll switch back to the shuttle, and yeah, we've drifted pretty far away. We'll just set our target and try to make somewhat of an approach, although I did want to make some articulations to the arm there before I started docking, so that's why I've adjusted the shuttle to this heading, because I would like to dock facing this way to make sure that arm can manipulate itself out of the way. Yeah, and it torques the whole station. This is just I mean, it's kind of goofy, really. All right, and now that that arm is in a somewhat, I don't know if I'm set on that. We'll make our approach here, and hopefully I can pull this docking off just as smooth as last time. Hint, I'm not going to. But anyway, back over to old me for some relatively real-time commentary. Alright, nice and steady now. Nice and steady. Oh, wrong way. Yeah. Of course. Nice and steady. Let's go the wrong way. Alright, bring it home. Watch we not be... yeah. Jeez. Alright. I wonder how we got off on that axis. Okay, that looks pretty good. Come on. Alright, easy does it. We bump in the cockpit? Yep. Pull it back just a bit. Okay. I did so well last time. Nope. Bring it back. We can only do one axis at a time. Obviously. Because I am terrible at all the things. This is probably the view I'm looking for. Oh, jeez. Alright. And bump, 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 bump. Why do we feel so off balance? Okay. Should be it. I see the station wiggling. Oh, jeez. Contact. Come on. Give me hard dock, baby. Yes! Hard dock. We are locked. And that gives us, that docking arm, potentially gives us so much more room. Especially we're going to have a very large module over here. So we're going to need, this extendable arm thing is going to be greatly, greatly needed. Alright. Hooray! Docked. Now let's get some of our EVA stuff done. Let's see if we can't we'll take a quick save first. And alright, Bob, I guess you're up, buddy. Oh, why are all of the RCS systems firing now? That's fun. And it looks like we bent the hell out of this hinge, because that is way further off axis than it should be, but you know, I'm not concerned with it. So, Bob, my friend, I need you to pick up some of these strut things. Oh, I can't grab them? I can only link? Oh, that's an issue. Very interesting. Huh. Well, that does foil some things. How am I supposed to strut that thing together if I can't even grab those ports? Does an engineer have to do it? Oh boy. Yeah, you can tell exactly how much I've used this system. 300 plus episodes. No idea how to attach stuff. Alright, get back in the lab. Grab hold board. Alright, let's I guess we're gonna drop one of our scientists off Dina, EVA. Oh, you got to ride in the crap seat today, huh? Whoa, that was not the view I expected. Why do you insist on being at such a wonky angle? Fine. We will just deal with said wonky angle. And get you aboard this science lab. Grab. Thank you for not flying off and smashing into things. Board. Really? This only takes 2 people? Okay. I guess we're cycling out our crew. I thought it took 4 for some reason. That's super interesting. Okay, lots of EVA work to do, so give me just a few minutes. I will handle the rest of this. And so, because of the room constraints at the lab, this would basically work by moving our new crew into the HAB module, where one of them would be inaccessible, at least for the time being, and then popping out our old crew, as they've, I guess, completed their stay now, and bringing them to the orbiter itself. There's our first one, and now we will move one of our new scientists into the lab so that work may continue uninterrupted. Yep, there it is. We'll move our second old crew from the station to the orbiter. Yep, you should probably go take the cargo seat. The cockpit is full. Alright, and then we'll get our... Nope, that's the wrong one. There you are. Okay, and now you can move from the HAB. I hope you put all your stuff away. And into the lab and get to work. And then we can begin the great resource transfer. Always the most entertaining something or other. So anyway, we just need to bring a little fuel down from the station into the shuttle itself. It's just a matter of how much. I would like to leave some up there because we do have to maneuver the station into a higher orbit to satisfy the space station contract, now that I've actually read it instead of just accepting said contract. So we are going to need some of that fuel. Probably not everything that we have there, but the fueling of these tiny tanks on the orbiter takes a very, very long time, unfortunately. Yeah, and trying to make sure we can get it all balanced. And these 2 tiny little tanks, these were supposed to be reserve tanks, but they tend to get spent first. Anyway, I won't bore you with all of that. Next time we'll be moving the station to a higher orbit, we'll be moving the shuttle to a lower orbit, and hopefully be getting paid on at least one of these contracts. So that's going to do it for this episode, everybody. Thank you so much for hanging out. I do appreciate it, and I will see all of you in the next one. So until then, see you later.